Hi, this is Tony from Oklahoma, and I just wanted to, I had a question, or actually, I had a few questions. I've wanted to join or become an atheist, and I wanted to do as much research as possible before I do, and I've heard some disturbing rumors, and I would like to ask a few questions, without being trolled or harassed.
Absolutely. Before we continue with this, I just want to say I am open to any question, period. Any question. I like getting oppositional voicemails where people are pushing back. I like defending my positions on things, and I feel like we should be able to discuss anything without being at each other's throats. So I really appreciate you calling in with this, and I will be interested to see what questions you have for me. That being said, I just want to point out, a minute ago you said you were thinking about joining atheism. Atheism isn't something that you join. It's not a group. It's not a religious organization in the same way that Methodists or Catholics are. Atheism, at its most basic, is just a lack of belief in something. I don't believe in unicorns either. I would be an a-unicornist in the same way that I'm an atheist. It's just that you're not accepting the claim that is being presented to you. You're an atheist with regards to Muslims, I assume. Just like me, we're both atheists about Islam. Except I'm also an atheist about Christianity. I don't believe in Islam or Christianity. With all that being said, I'll let you finish your questions.
My first question is, does atheism have a hierarchy? And two,
Let me just start with that one and we'll continue. Does atheism have a hierarchy? No, it doesn't. There are what you may call famous people or well-known people in the atheist movement. For example, like Richard Dawkins, Daniel Dennett, Sam Harris, and Christopher Hitchens. Those were the four big new atheists of our time. They've written books on the philosophical implications of Christianity and atheism and things like that. They've written books about the harm that Islam has done to the world or that Christianity has done to the world, but there is no hierarchy. There are well-known people that are atheist, but there is no hierarchy of any sort.
is atheism a guise or, a mask that's just being used for a cover up for people being racist and sexist, etc.?
In my experience, from what I know, from the social circles that I run in, from the books that I read that are written by atheist authors or about atheism, I have always found atheism and atheists to be a lot more in favor of social progress and unity and civil rights than Christians, at least in the United States. In my experience, atheists are more enlightened and progressive on these subjects. So I would reject the idea that atheism is a guise for sexism or racism. Absolutely not. Not in my case, at the very least. I have always been in favor of human rights. I've always been against racism and against sexism. So, no, I would say the answer to your question would be no for number two.
Lastly, do you believe that atheism is a cult? Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you. I appreciate the call, like I said. Is atheism a cult? I would say it's not a cult. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a member. I can back that up. What makes a cult is behavior modification through a system of rewards and punishments, an us versus them, good versus evil attitude. shutting down criticism, refusing to speak to critics or hear criticisms, shunning people if they disobey or disbelieve, things like that. There is no evidence of any of that taking place from any atheists that I know. One of the big problems is that atheism is not an organization. It's not even really a group. To be a cult, it at the very least has to be a group. A cult is a group of people at its most basic that think so similarly that they're almost clones of each other. They build out ideologies and ideas and morality, and they exhibit similar behaviors to each other, things like that. Atheism isn't a group in any sense. There are friend groups who all share the same ideas, but atheism doesn't give us any insight into how you should act or what you should think or behavior or where you should get your information or any of that stuff. Those are all necessary to have a cult. If you don't have those things, if people aren't exhibiting those behaviors or ideas, then they're just not in a cult. Simple as that. So the answer to your last question is no, atheism is not a cult. But I do appreciate the fact that you called in and presented it as a question anyways. No idea should be above criticism, in my opinion.